Well, we're on the road again. Alright, so this is going to be the first astrophotography video I think I'm going to upload on my channel. Sort of tangentially related. Obviously my channel is focusing on hiking and geology. This is my first time in Malibu Creek State Park. The video I watched on YouTube says that there's some volcanic rock outcroppings in the area, and I could believe that. The transverse ranges are basically being sheared off from the motion between the Pacific and the North American plates. But today we're not here for geology, of course, we're here for the night sky. There is a scale called the Bortle scale that basically gives an indication of how much light pollution there is in a given area, from 1 to 9, 1 being the darkest skies possible, 9 being a completely light polluted night sky, such as in an inner city such as downtown Los Angeles or the Strip in Las Vegas. Where I live is between 8 and 9, because I'm in the suburbs of Los Angeles, and this park is a Bortle 5. So it was about 2 weeks ago. It would have been Saturday the 12th, I believe, or 13th of August, that my dad and I decided to go up to Mount Pinos. And it also happened to be the peak night of the Perseid meteor shower, which means half of Los Angeles had decided to come out as well. I think we're going to be in a much better spot here than we were at Mount Pinos. It's a lot closer, it's not as dark, but, you know, how dark it was at Mount Pinos was kind of canceled out by the fact that there were cars constantly in and out. A car every few minutes, not a big deal out here. I've got my little headlamp on right now so you guys can actually see me. I have the camera running. I'm going to try for 45 minutes of total exposure time or integration time. I don't think I'll be able to get it though because it's already 9 something, and like I said earlier, I have to be out here by 10 o'clock. I'll most likely only get about half an hour of integration time plus 10 or so 10 to 15 minutes of darks. But so far I'll actually call this a success, given it was a test night, so to speak. I took a single 15-second exposure at 800 ISO, same settings basically as the images that I was shooting from home of M13, and that 15-second exposure came out almost as good as about 6 to 10 minutes under the light polluted skies of my home. Which means even 30 minutes should be considerably higher quality than the hour-long exposure or integration time I had of M13 from home. Hello again. I'm happy to report that my trip to Malibu was indeed a success. This particular trip was part of an ongoing experiment that I'm running. I am comparing the impacts of light pollution on imaging time and quality. If you imagine cameras as buckets for light, you can imagine then that under light polluted skies your bucket fills up quickly, but most of what you're collecting is unwanted light. Removing light pollution from the equation means you're only collecting light from the object you want to image. My home is under borderline Bortle 8 to 9 skies. As part of the experiment, I attempted imaging the Great Globular Cluster in Hercules. To start, this was an image combining 15-second exposures for 5 minutes shot from my driveway. The total time combining individual sub-exposures is known as the integration time. Light pollution is filling the background with a blue haze, and while M13 is apparent, this is far from a good picture. Later, I imaged M13 for much longer, managing an integration time of 55 minutes. The jump in quality is evident, but light pollution is still having an impact. NGC 6207 makes a guest appearance. This is a spiral galaxy located about 30 million light-years away. Because of light pollution, however, it is a bit hard to pick out at first. Lastly, I managed 20 minutes of integration time from Malibu Creek. Despite cutting the integration time by nearly a third, the difference in light pollution from Bortle 8-9 skies to Bortle 5 is incredible. NGC 6207 is obvious now, and IC 4617, another spiral galaxy, has started to peek through. IC 4617 has at a mind-boggling distance of approximately 489 million light-years away. To put this into context, a light-year is the distance light travels in 1 year, or almost 10 trillion kilometers. Because the speed of light is finite, it also means that light from a given object has, of course, been traveling for that amount of time. So, light from IC 4617 has been traveling then for almost 500 million years to get to Earth. When those photons first started on their way, a common ancestor of amphibians, reptiles, mammals, and birds had yet to even evolve. Tiktaalik is often used as an example of the transition from fish to amphibians, closely related to our common ancestor. It would not appear in the fossil record for another 114 million years. Put another way, light from IC 4617 just now reaching us is almost as old to the very first dinosaurs as the very first dinosaurs are to us. And what about M13, the focus of the image? M13 is a globular cluster. Globular clusters are, as the name implies, spherical accumulations of stars that can number from tens of thousands to even millions of stars. M13, also known as the Great Cluster in Hercules, is a globular cluster at a distance of about 22 to 25,000 light-years away, considerably closer than either of the galaxies that happen to be in the frame. Indeed, M13 is part of the Milky Way, orbiting outside of the disk that we occupy. It is estimated to contain anywhere from 300,000 to perhaps over 500,000 stars. Sadly, I did not manage to get much more in terms of imaging. I captured a short 2 minutes of galaxies M81 and M82, which after some processing in software called PixInsight, came out like this. The image is of rather poor quality, but I was pleasantly surprised when I realized that the spiral arms of M81 still came through. As we are approaching the full moon though, I won't be able to do much in the way of deep sky imaging. Not at least until the second week of September. But I hope that when the date comes around, what I capture will be even more impressive, and I hope you all think so too. Until then, thank you for watching, and I shall catch you all next time.